So I told you at the very beginning of the channel, my least favorite household chore to do, which is dishes, right? And I do. I still hate doing dishes. They're not fun. But my solid dish soaps, they're awesome and lots of fun. The household chore that I don't mind doing is actually cleaning the bathrooms and specifically the toilets. And the reason why I don't mind it is because of today's product. And I'm going to tell you all about today's product and give you a cool recipe in just a minute. But before I do, hello, I am Mrs. Soap and Clay. Let's make stuff. How's it going, Sudsers? Welcome back to the channel. You are at Soap and Clay, where we make all the soapy things, and you are here for day 308 of 365 days of soap. And I'm still not getting over that. That's so crazy. We're in the 300s, and that's nuts. But yeah, today we are making toilet bombs. I'm calling them toilet bombs. I don't really know what. Yes, bath bombs that you drop in your toilet, and they have lots of awesome stuff in them that clean the toilet. They help with the ring around the toilet. They help with the disinfecting of the toilet. They do all of the awesome things, and it doesn't require you to like get down into the toilet with the steel wool and the and so we are doing that today, and I'm giving you a recipe to make an epic toilet bomb, or a bunch of them right now. So let's go check out the video, and I will tell you all about these cool cleaning solid single in the video. Okay, so for the recipe for this guy, we are going to start off with a quasi-standard bath bomb recipe-ish. We are removing the cornstarch because that has no benefit. Cornstarch actually helps extend the fizz in bath bombs, but bath bombs fizz really slow in cold water, and your toilet has cold water in it, so we don't need it. So 2 cups baking soda, 1 cup citric acid. Also, you don't want cornstarch in your toilet also, but that's a different conversation. A tablespoon of water to help everything stick together, 1 tablespoon of soap nut extract or a Castile soap. I think either one would work if you don't have soap nut extracts, but I recommend just making soap nut extracts. You should do that. Just do that because that works out really well. And then a tablespoon of essential oil, or I guess fragrance oil to that, to suit whatever scent that you would like. So there is the recipe for that guy. And yeah, I mean, everything else, it's going to be very stock standard making of the bath bombs, right? We've done this a bajillion times. You have your baking soda, you add your water, and you will add your essential oil blend to it, and you will add your soap nut extract to it. Now, my soap nut extract, in order to keep it, with this it's a little bit weird because I don't want to add extra water to it. Typically, when I do a soap nut extract, it really is just steeping the soap nuts in really hot water and like pulling, so it's in water form. But for this, I actually did an extract in glycerin in order to not put more liquid into the recipe that I don't want. But to that, I could have just done that with the water that goes in, and same, would have been fine. I wondered about adding a little bit of oil to it as well. On one hand, I don't super want to put a ton of oil into the toilet, but at the same time, oil would also help with the fizzing and the cleaning. So as a degreaser, because that's how it works in a bath bomb. So I don't know, it could go either way. If you find that your bath bombs aren't sticking well enough, you could add a little bit of oil. I would say like half of a tablespoon to this recipe just to help them stick together better, because fluid is pretty important in a bath bomb mixture. You want to make sure you have the right consistency or things get real crazy real fast. But if you were using the Castile soap in place of the soap nuts, yeah, totally don't put oil in, because that Castile soap will actually, it'll do a couple things. First, it will, in the beginning, it will help make this all moldable. But if you let your bath bomb powder sit for too long, and I really do mean not long at all, that Castile soap is going to dry out your batch and turn it from kinetic sand to just like dry Sahara desert sand really, really quickly. So keep that in mind. But yeah, then we're just going to mix all of this up. Citric acid goes in last, because if you make a good bath bomb, if you know how to make a good bath bomb, you know it's because you put the citric acid in last. Best pro tip ever, for sure. Now I'm going to do the moldy mold thing, and I just, the molding with these freaking work gloves, this is hard. Like, this is not fun at all. I really hope I can get some PPE at some point, because it's that's been tough, because the work gloves, they work for keeping my hands safe and doing all of the things for sure, and then also in this instance for keeping my hands off of the bath bomb product. But because they have like the texture on the tips, when I go to unmold, I get little bumps. See there? That doesn't exist if you're wearing just regular like nitrile gloves. So this whole process was really weirdly, it was weird. It felt like I was making bath bombs for the first time, or that I was making bath bombs with somebody else's hands, because it didn't feel like me. And that's weird, because I've made so many bath bombs over the years that I do this without thinking, but I was actually consciously in the moment thinking about all of this while I was making this batch, which was super weird. But yeah, no, these are going to set up just exactly like regular bath bombs. For the sizing, I was debating, because at first I was thinking, well, how about a half of a kid's bomb? Now this is a kid's bomb size for my kid's bombs, and I don't know what the mold size is. I want to say it's like 1.5 inches. The bath bombs themselves, when they are molded, are 3.5 ounces, if that gives you any indication on the sizing. So they're smaller than my Mondo bombs, but you could still get another size smaller than this for sure. And so I thought about doing like a half of a circle for these toilet bombs. But then I started thinking, I actually want the fizz to go up to that porcelain ring that your toilet seat sits on, right? I want it to go up to that point in the toilet, so without overflowing, obviously, so the whole last toilet can get cleaned. And then, you know, it helps out with where the water comes out, just underneath the ring, right? The lip there, right? And because there's always, you know, mineral deposits and stuff that can be lost in there. Maybe you don't realize it and you don't see it or whatever until like you really do get down and clean your toilet really good and go, oh, what's that? And it's like mineral deposits and stuff. So I'm thinking it would be awesome if this actually extended all the way up and did its fizzy awesome reaction. Baking soda's natural cleaner, natural, you know, disinfectant, all the jazz, and help out with that ring too. And so I ultimately decided to go with the kids' bath bomb sizes for this, and a whole bath bomb to that. So the idea is you drop the entire bath bomb in your toilet, it does its fizzy fizz thing, it's awesome, and then you just take your brush to it, or don't. I mean, either way, I definitely take my brush to it afterwards, otherwise it doesn't feel like I've actually done anything and the bath bomb has done all the work. But I mean, still take your brush to it, because I mean, you still need the actual like friction. That's part of cleaning. But anyway, so these are ready to go to set up overnight and dry and all the things, and then we will test them and see what kind of foamy, fizzy awesomeness we are working with, you know, all of the things. So let's go check out that test. Okay, and on to the test, and I didn't super explain what the soap nuts are used for. Soap nuts, they naturally help break down mineral deposits, right? and soap scum and all that jazz. And so the insertion, and I talk about it more in my dish soap recipes. And so the insertion of that is for that purpose, but also it provides a really good bubble. And I like that. I want a really good bubble on top of just the fizzy lift off, right? So that's what we are going for with all of this. And that's why I said a Castile could work too if you don't have soap nut extract or you don't want to make it or buy soap nuts or whatever. Just a liquid Castile like a Dr. Bronner's or whatever could totally work. Now, this is not time-lapsed. And eventually I did just get tired of watching this. And again, this is why you don't need cornstarch in the recipe, because one of the reasons you use cornstarch in a bath bomb recipe is to extend the fizz. It's to stabilize the chemical reaction between the baking soda and the citric acid, and it stabilizes it and therefore extends the fizz. But in cold water, the fizz is already so slow for a bath bomb, because that's just, you know, hot water, cold water, cleaning, all of the things. Like there's a whole ass reason why you use, you know, hot water instead of cold water when you're cleaning. And you saw when I picked up the thing and I took it out of there, how much more of that bath bomb was still left to go, right? And so I'm gonna go ahead and lift it again and see how much of this bath bomb I still have. Now, granted, this Pyrex is not the size of a toilet. It is much smaller than a toilet. And I did test these in several toilets of different sizes and shapes. But see how much that bath bomb's still left? You got a ways to go. That thing's gonna fizz out for like 10 minutes, which is perfect. And ultimately I got tired of it and I broke it because I got tired of waiting for it to keep fizzing and doing its thing. But yeah, so I tested this in multiple toilets and it went right up to underneath the lip, which was perfect. It did not overflow in any of the toilets that I tested it in, which is also perfect. But it took about 10 minutes to get to its fully fizzed out, you know, completed stage, which gave me time to wipe down the mirrors, wipe down the cabinets, scrub the shower, do all the things, and then do the toilet at the very end before, yeah. So it's kind of cool because I like set myself a little self-timer in all the bathrooms, right? Like, okay, the toilet bomb is now my timer. I've got 10 minutes to get everything else done, and it'll be the last thing that I clean in the toilet or in the bathroom. And that was awesome. Totally worked. But I wasn't going to show you, like, I wasn't going to film the toilet because that's weird to me. I may have, like, toilet humor, but I'm not going to, like, no. So, here it is, all fizzing out and doing its thing, and it looks great. Beautiful foam. Very, very sparkling, clean toilets when it's all said and done. And, yeah, no, they're pretty epic. That's definitely it's a stable recipe. It's a good recipe, and it does its job as far as cleaning the toilets. And like I said, I'm super in love with cleaning the bathroom now because this makes everything enjoyable and fun and a whole lot easier. And there they are, the toilet bombs. I actually had a much cuter name for them, and now I can't remember. I don't know if it was cuter or more inappropriate, but either way, I had a different name for them and I don't remember what it was. So we're just sticking with toilet bombs. And yeah, they're actually really cool. I love how the fizz with them, it goes all the way up to just underneath the lip of the actual seat. So then you get that ring or that's under the, yeah, that too, from where the water comes in. Yes, and then you just take a scrub brush to it real quick and everything is so sparkling and clean and it smells wonderful. And yeah, these are winners. These are really awesome, especially if you're looking to reduce your eco footprint and not have chemicals really, but also plastics and all the things. This accomplishes lots of things. And yeah, I love these toilet bombs. If you are interested in these, you cannot find them at soapandclay.com. They are not there. This was an order made for a wholesale account, so you can find these toilet bombs at a dropintheoceanshop.com. She has them stocked there. If you are interested in more soapy antics and seeing what else I come up with for the remaining, 50-ish days, I don't maths on the fly, subscribe to the channel. So we are doing this every single day, as the name 365 Days of Soap might suggest, and I would love to have you along for the ride. For those of you who are along for the ride, hey, thanks for joining me on this crazy ride. Can you believe it's 308 days? That's cuckoo bananas. And yeah, again, I have to talk about wondering what we're going to be doing for year 2, or if there even is going to be a year 2. So for now, we're still working on year 1, and I'm glad that you joined me for another round of 365 Days of Soap. I am always very appreciative of you, and I will see you guys all again tomorrow.
Bye.